The 6 qualities that make you quietly more precious than gold after 65. Have you ever noticed how some people, as they age, become more magnetic? Not because of money or fame, but because of something deeper. There's a quiet, rare beauty in individuals over 65 who radiate peace, wisdom, and warmth. They are the kind of people others love to be around. They seem rare, irreplaceable. This has nothing to do with youth, wealth, or physical appearance. It's about the qualities they've chosen to cultivate. And the beautiful truth is these qualities are within reach for anyone at any age. Today, we begin exploring the first 2 qualities that will make you quietly more precious than gold, and they have nothing to do with how you look and everything to do with how you live. 1. The ability to stay calm in any situation after a certain age. You've seen a lot. Loss, change, disappointment, unexpected challenges. Life becomes more complex. And yet some people manage to walk through it all with a steady presence, a kind of inner peace that reassures others just by being there. This isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about knowing what really matters and learning to let go of the little things. Think about someone like Harold, a 74-year-old retired firefighter. Years ago, his calm demeanor could settle an entire room. He wasn't loud or flashy, but when Harold was around, people felt safer. Even now, in retirement, he's the one people call when things go wrong. Not because he has all the answers, but because he doesn't panic. He listens carefully, he doesn't overreact. His grandkids love talking to him, his friends trust him, his wife still feels grounded by his energy after decades together. This kind of calm isn't passive, it's intentional. It's about choosing not to argue over small things, not letting frustration take over your mood, not wasting energy on things that won't matter a year from now. In a world filled with noise and reactivity, calmness is power. And here's what's amazing. When you cultivate this kind of presence, you don't just make others feel better, you change your own life too. Your stress goes down, your relationships deepen, your clarity improves, you make wiser decisions, you become the one everyone wants near, not for advice, but for your peace. If you've ever known someone like this, you know how unforgettable their presence is. And if you decide to cultivate that same calmness within yourself, you too will become someone who stands out not loudly, but powerfully. A sense of curiosity that never fades. One of the greatest mistakes people make as they grow older is thinking that curiosity is for the young, that learning, exploring, or trying new things is something left behind with youth. But the truth? People who remain vibrant and joyful well into their later years are those who stay curious. They don't let life become a loop of repetition. They don't retreat into comfort zones. Instead, they keep asking questions, trying new experiences, and embracing change with an open heart. Take Evelyn, a 76-year-old former school teacher. She could have settled into retirement with a routine of familiar TV shows and conversations about the good old days. But Evelyn? She still checks out books from unfamiliar genres. She talks to young people without judgment. She even learned how to use the latest smartphone, not because she had to, but because she wanted to stay connected to the world around her. And the result? She's a joy to talk to. Her grandchildren love her insight, her neighbors find her fascinating, and she's never bored because her mind is always alive. Curiosity isn't just about gaining knowledge. It's about keeping your spirit awake. It keeps loneliness at bay. It fights off stagnation. It creates connection. It adds depth to every conversation you have and every person you meet. People who stop being curious often grow bitter or rigid, but those who stay open, they become beacons of life, no matter their age. And remember, curiosity doesn't demand big changes. It's in small moments, asking someone about their day, and really listening, trying a new hobby, reading a book that stretches your thinking, or asking a question rather than offering an opinion. A gentle challenge for you today? Take a quiet moment and ask yourself, when was the last time I tried something new? When was the last time I listened to understand not to reply. When was the last time I let go of being right and embraced being curious? If it's been a while, don't worry, the door is still open. Every single day you wake up, you get another chance to become more deeply yourself, more wise, more calm, more curious. These qualities aren't just admirable, they are magnetic. They are the foundation of what makes someone quietly more precious than gold. 3. The power to set boundaries without feeling guilty. For much of her life, Marjorie, a 68-year-old retired secretary, said yes to everything, babysitting grandkids even when she was exhausted, agreeing to join every committee, volunteering for events she no longer enjoyed. I thought that's what being a good person meant, she says. Then I realized I was always tired and quietly resentful. Everything changed when she learned to say one word: no. Not out of spite, not because she stopped caring, but because she finally understood that saying yes to everything meant saying no to herself. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. The most respected, peaceful older women are those who've learned how to set clear, kind boundaries. They don't over-explain, they don't make excuses, and they don't carry guilt for protecting their peace. Setting boundaries might sound like, I'm not available today, but I wish you the best. I can't take that on right now, but thank you for thinking of me. I need some time to rest this week. The ability to say these things without guilt comes from years of learning that overextending yourself doesn't make you generous. It makes you burned out, and people notice. When you respect yourself enough to say no without apology, people don't love you less. In fact, they admire you more. Because they feel the quiet strength in your self-respect. Boundaries teach people how to treat you when you always give in, always say yes, always smile through your discomfort. People start to assume that's just who you are. But when you gently assert your needs and limits, you teach people that your time, energy, and presence are not to be taken for granted. This is not arrogance, it's dignity. Women who learn this skill in their later years shine differently. They no longer need to prove anything. Their no is peaceful, not defensive. Their yes is full-hearted, not forced. That energy, that's rare and deeply attractive. 4. A presence that makes others feel safe and seen. You've likely met someone like this before, a woman whose calm, warm presence instantly puts others at ease. She doesn't have to dominate the room or talk the most. In fact, she often speaks the least. But when she does, people listen. These women have cultivated an emotional presence that says, without words, "You're safe here. I see you. You matter." Real story, Naomi, 72 Naomi, never thought of herself as particularly wise or magnetic. She was quiet, observant, soft-spoken. But she had this way of being fully present when someone talked. When her daughter-in-law was struggling after having her second baby, she found herself confiding in Naomi, not her own mother. "You make me feel calm," she said. "You don't try to fix me, you just listen. I always feel better after we talk." That's the mark of someone who's done inner work. Someone who isn't threatened by others' emotions and doesn't need to be the center of the story. Presence is cultivated, not bought. You don't need money, status, or a loud personality to be memorable. You need stillness, empathy, self-awareness. People feel drawn to women who are comfortable in their own skin, who can sit in silence without needing to fill the gap, and who give others the rare gift of feeling truly heard. When you've spent years learning how to quiet your own insecurities, accept your past, and hold space for others, you become a lighthouse for people who are struggling to find their way. This kind of emotional presence is priceless. It makes you magnetic in a quiet, lasting way. Reflection time. Do these qualities resonate with you? Let's pause and reflect. Have you learned to say no without guilt? Do others come to you not just for answers, but for peace? Do people comment on how they feel more calm or centered around you? Have you begun to release the need to be everything for everyone? If yes, then you are well on your way to becoming the kind of woman people remember long after you've left the room. And if not yet, don't worry. These traits aren't reserved for a chosen few. They're available to any woman who decides it's time to return to herself. The hidden reward of cultivating these traits. You may be surprised to know that developing these qualities doesn't just impact how others see you, it dramatically impacts how you see yourself. Your stress lowers. Your inner critic quiets. Your relationships feel more balanced. You stop needing to be understood and begin to enjoy simply being yourself. That's when your presence starts to glow. Not from youth or makeup or effort. From peace. 5. A grateful heart that refuses to grow bitter. By the time you reach 65 and beyond, you've seen your fair share of hard times. Loss, disappointment, health scares, and maybe even betrayals. Life isn't always gentle, and aging brings new challenges. But one thing separates the women who remain magnetic from those who grow resentful: gratitude. Gratitude isn't about denial, it's about perspective. Being grateful doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on what's still good rather than drowning in what's missing. You might have aches in your body, but you still get to walk in the sunshine. You might have lost friends, but you still have stories that keep them alive. You might live on a modest income, but you've learned how to enjoy the simple things. Take Joan, 73, who lost her husband a few years ago and now lives alone. She could have sunk into loneliness. Instead, every day, she writes down 3 things she's thankful for. Sometimes it's her morning coffee, sometimes it's the neighbor's dog, sometimes it's simply waking up. And something amazing happened. She became the woman others go to when they're struggling. They say, "Joan, you always seem so hopeful." That's because Joan made a choice, not to be bitter, but better. Science backs it up. Gratitude changes the brain. Research shows that practicing gratitude actually rewires the brain for joy. It reduces stress, improves sleep, and strengthens the immune system. It also makes you more attractive, not physically, but energetically. A grateful person gives off a different kind of warmth. You can feel it in their smile, you hear it in their voice. You want to be around them, not because they have all the answers, but because they've chosen to see beauty in life, even when it's hard. 6. The wisdom to let go and let others live their own lives. This is one of the most liberating and admirable qualities a woman can develop in her later years. The ability to stop controlling, correcting, or carrying the weight of everyone else's choices. Letting go is a kind of love. At some point, we all learn this hard truth. We can't live anyone's life for them. Not our grown children, not our grandchildren, not our siblings or spouses. We can love them, we can support them, we can offer guidance when asked. But the most peaceful women over 65 have learned to release the urge to fix, interfere, or worry endlessly about other people's paths. That doesn't mean they don't care. It means they've come to understand, I can love you and let you make your own choices, even if I wouldn't choose the same. This takes strength, but it also brings freedom. Real story, 76 Lorraine, spent years trying to help her adult daughter, offering advice about her job, her marriage, her parenting style. Every phone call turned into a lecture, until her daughter started pulling away. One day, Lorraine's daughter said, "Mom, I know you love me, but sometimes it feels like you don't trust me." That hit hard. So Lorraine did the bravest thing of all. She stepped back. She started saying, "That's your decision, and I trust you'll figure it out." She began listening more, talking less. And guess what? Their relationship blossomed. Now her daughter calls her just to chat, not to ask for solutions, because she feels safe, not judged. Lorraine learned, peace comes from letting go, not with anger, but with grace. Aging gracefully isn't about doing more, it's about being more. By this stage in life, you've earned the right to rest, to enjoy, to be, without always having to do. That's what makes the women we've described in this series so precious. They're not climbing social ladders, they're not chasing trends, they're not desperate to stay relevant. They are already complete, and in that completeness, they give others permission to slow down, reflect, and soften. A beautiful life isn't loud, it's intentional. The 6 qualities we've covered in this series don't make you popular in a flashy way. They make you cherished in a quiet way. Let's recap. Curiosity that keeps your mind and soul alive. Boundaries that honor your energy. Emotional presence that makes others feel seen. Gratitude that softens the hard edges of life. Wisdom to love without control. If you're already cultivating these, you are a treasure. If you're working on them, you're already on your way. Final words. You are gold. Even if the world doesn't say so loudly, many older women feel invisible after a certain age. They wonder, does anyone really see me anymore? Here's the truth. The right people see you. The people who matter feel your presence. Your worth isn't shrinking, it's deepening. The most beautiful women in the world aren't always on magazine covers. Sometimes they're in the grocery store aisle, on a park bench, sitting quietly at a dinner table, radiating calm and kindness. They are women like you.